People are taking some space in the Waters household. I'll have you know that I was not invited to my mother's house for Thanksgiving. Apparently, there wasn't enough room. She said it was a scheduling situation, and then at the last second invited me to come over on Black Friday. I told her no thanks, I'll be at Best Buy.
Okay, so I don't know if I believe that. I will say that it is the election results are recent enough that I want to believe it. And there is reason to believe that she might not want to spend a lot of time with Jesse Waters right about now. We know that his mom had called into his show when he took over for Tucker Carlson, telling him to dodge, quote, conspiracy rabbit holes. And she gave him like a couple minutes straight of advice for what not to do. And he's done every one of those things. So he's as bad as she feared he would be. And, she doesn't seem like she'd want Trump in power. Trump got into power. And now Jesse Waters is doing shows saying things like, when people start getting deported, it'll be hysterical. That might sting a little bit if you're a right thinking person. And so I don't know that I necessarily believe it. Garrison, what do you think? Is he gonna be there on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of actually gets to the exact point that I just made a few moments ago, which is that sometimes it feels as though folks on the right are obsessed with this victim mentality and being the victim of something. And so, it wouldn't surprise me if this wasn't a ploy to be a bit funny, but maybe to curry a little bit of empathy from viewers who say that, this, you understand what I'm saying? Like it feels like it's a bit contrived. And so I don't know if I believe it. Either way, I do think that folks are making decisions on who they want to be around, and at this point, it doesn't surprise me that if anyone would want to be away from the folks pushing kind of political conspiracy theories and the like.
Yeah, I think also, look, especially it's only been a week. Like, I think if people want to be kind of petty, right. I think that's okay. I think they can be a little bit of petty for a while, especially when it's not about something small. It's not about like, oh, it's Harris and like a moderate Republican. Like this is consequential.
Really consequential.
And if you see that and another person doesn't or minimizes it, you're supposed to like not have a problem with that. That seems weird. I don't know.
And just really quickly, what kind of guest is Jesse Waters? Is he the kind of guy who comes in and wants to talk about all this stuff? You know what I mean? Like who knows? Who knows what kind of guest he is? And that could be the problem here ultimately.
Yeah, I know that his brand is being really snotty and annoying. So that doesn't seem to be a good sign for what he'd be like in dinner conversation. But yeah, I think, look, family's something, I don't know. I have members of my family who are more conservative. I have not had to spend a lot of time directly in contact with them. So I'm not a good person for figuring out what you do in these cases. But what do you think? Like, is the onus on people to try to bridge that gap? Do you think some gaps can't be bridged? What do you think?
I think that we should talk about the meal this year. We should talk about who's having a baby or talk about everything but, guys. I think at this point, what's done is done. The American people made a decision. Maintain your peace. Hold on to your peace just a little bit while longer. And then talk to your family around Thanksgiving 2020. What is it? 5, 26, whenever it is, whenever the next election is, have those conversations then.
And by the way, everybody knows that it is very hard to convince someone of something against their will. But for people who are not super hardcore MAGA, like just take a look in a year or two. I think they're gonna get it. I think maybe they're gonna come to you wanting to talk about some of the issues that they're seeing. By the way, before we close, on YouTube, they ran a poll. Does Jesse Waters' mom love him? And it's tight. No wins with 54% of the vote. I'm sure she still loves him, but only because that's what a parent does. Not because it's earned on a daily basis on TV. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?